Hey, hi friends, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to discuss about localization. Now when I talk about localization, it doesn't mean that your app has to support multiple languages, then only we should use localized file. Even let's say that your app is supporting just one language, for example English or Hindi or any other language, then also it's better to use the localization. Now one question can come in your mind that if I'm just supporting one language, then why I should create any extra file for you? Now the advantage using that is that your all the hard-coded strings comes to one place. So let's say that if in the future if someone has to change, they has to just see one file instead of going through multiple classes. Now how can we add it? If you see in this project, if I go here, so first thing what you have to do is right click and then create a new file, and then here you have to search for a string. Okay. So you get this strings file, just click next on it, and by default the name is localizable. Don't play with this name, just click create and see it will create a localizable file for you. Okay. Now if you go here and then in the file, here if you see there's an option called localizations. Okay, and once you click on localize, by default the language will be English. Okay. Now let's say that if I have to put some text, so let me just write some text. So for example, I write here Bhagavad Gita, and then the value is Bhagavad Gita. Okay, I can call it as like chapter. Okay, so my this string is ready. So this is a key, and then this is a value. Okay, and now what we have to do, we have to, wherever you want to use it, just go here. Let's say for example if I come here and instead of this text I'm just changing it to, so it's giving me error. Let me just put a semicolon which I forgot here. Now one thing can be confusing here at this point of time is that if you see the simulator, it's actually showing me the text for the key, but I didn't use any localizable key or any sort of thing. I directly put that key here. So ideally this particular thing should have been treated as a normal string, but it is not like that, right? It is taking the actual value for that. Now why it is happening? Now the reason behind this is that many initializers for several SwiftUI types. Now text is one of such types. Now what it basically does, that it implicitly look for localized string when you provide any string literal. Like instead, even I no don't write it anything. Let's say that for example I just write this. So even if you write this, the first thing what the SwiftUI will do, it will go and search in your localizable file if it exists, and if it finds any key matching to it, then it will show the value for that. So even if you don't write localizable key or something, that's the reason that you see the actual text instead of this key. Okay, so when you use initializer, for example like text and any string like this, so SwiftUI creates a localized string key for you and uses that to look up the localization of the this string or any string that you are providing. Okay, so this part up to what I have done till now, this you can do if you are not supporting any other language. Okay, now there are lots of best practices to write, like some people prefer just writing the strings. Other way is that you can give the screen name. Let's say for example in our case we have just content view, and you can use it like this. So what you can do, you can just keep something like this here. So how does it help you? Let's say that you have 50 screens. Now your localizable file will be only one, even if you have one screen or you have 100 screens. Now it helps you to easily find out something that you can just come where your screen name is that, and according to that you can see any particular string. Now sometimes it also happens that few strings have like no same type of value, maybe for some the B is small or G is capital, some different kind of combination. In that case also, if you're using with a screen name, it will always create a unique key for you. Okay, so let me use the same key for a better practice and put the same thing here. Okay, so the next thing here is that what if I have like the string also. For example, you have this text here, and then with this text you also want to show some variable, right? So for that, the best approach is to use the or to provide the option to introduce some variable here only. Let's say that after this I want to show something like chapter name. Okay, now here what I have to do, I have to just give the what kind of no object you want to insert. So in our case we want to insert like a string. I gave ampersand at the rate. So in our case I wanted to insert a string, so I gave ampersand at the rate. Okay, now next thing what we have to do is when we are calling here, now we have to pass the variable. Let's say that I took a object here and let's forget about the type, or and I just pass this here, for example. Okay, now if I run this, let's see what happens, whether I get the actual count or not. Let me remove this warning. And you see that this time it's taking the key, not the actual value, because the SwiftUI is trying to find this particular string in the localizable file. Okay, what is the key? The key is this content view dot Bhagavad Gita chapter and then the count. And what is the count value? For example, 1. So you're actually, the SwiftUI is trying to find something this, and this doesn't exist in your localizable file, right? If you go here, we have the key as this one, and that's the reason that this is failing and you are seeing here this the same key. Now what you have to do, if you have to do something like introducing dynamic variables, so the same thing you should write it here also. Okay, so that when the SwiftUI tries to find in your localizable file, it finds the correct thing. Okay, now I have given space here, so because I wanted to show after a space, so let me give a space here as well. Okay, and now let's run it one more time. Let me delete this, and this time if you see, it's showing Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. So this way how you can use localizable even if you have a variable with dynamic values. Okay, now let's see the actual thing, that how we can use another language support. Okay, so let's say that I want to add Hindi also, apart from we already have English. So you need to go here, and then this is your project here. So go to your info, and here you can see the localization. Okay, and you have to click on plus, and then you can select the language that you want to add in your support. So I want to add Hindi, so I'll select Hindi. Don't do anything here, just click on finish, and after that you can see here that it created one more file here, and that is the Hindi thing. Okay, by default it copied the content which was there, and here it's showing Bhagavad Gita chapter, the same thing, but now I have to change this value. So let me just copy and paste this thing in the Hindi. Okay, so now my text is in Hindi with the same key. Now the question comes that how I can test it. Okay, so it's very simple. So what you have to go is click here, click on edit schema, and then see you have different run test profile. Okay, so in test also you can see that you have app language, but don't change here. So in this part we have to change it here, and this is system language. That means the language which has been set in the simulator. So here click on this and then select the language. So I selected Hindi, and then let me run it one more time. So this time I should see Bhagavad Gita Adhyay 1, and see it's working fine. Okay, so that's way how you can achieve localization for your SwiftUI app. In the next part of this video, I'm going to use some third parties library and see that how we can improve our localization using that third party. Okay, so that's all for today's video. Hope you have enjoyed watching it, and if you really enjoyed, then do subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you.